So let's start this quickly because we are short on time and I don't want to take your lunch time away from you. Then I'm not doing justice to you. Your stomach also needs to be happy. All right, let's start. Okay, so can each of you panelists just do a 30-second introduction? I know he did something, but just a quick thing. What do you do? Why you do it? Just give us a story on that. All right, Aman, let's start with you.
Sure. So my agenda in life as such is to help people understand how it's possible to bulletproof their happiness. And bulletproofing simply means not having short-term happiness, understanding how it's possible to keep it for longer and longer periods in time. Whether that's through a personal engagement or a corporate engagement, so be it. And these are all based on my own personal learnings in life. And happy to see you all today. Over to Roshni.
Come, Roshni.
Namaste and good morning, everyone. I would call myself a happiness electrician. We all have these tangled wires within us, and I help people to detangle them and connect to the main switch. Happiness is not anywhere outside of us. And it is my journey of 23 years in Bollywood, the most chaotic industry that we know of, and shifting 180 degrees to the other side through spirituality, calmness, and creating my own happiness. And the reason being that to wake up every day where other people's happiness makes me happy. Thank you so much.
Good morning to everybody. My name is Harat Misra. I am basically looking after HR and admin function at corporate office in New Delhi. And my company is ONGC Tripura Power Company. Basically my role is to take care of our employees, to keep them happy and satisfied, so that we, just to motivate our team. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. This is Lavanya, Global CHRO of Biological E. The very motivation of why I became a HR all stands behind because of the same term, happiness. I had learned this long back in my school and I would like to share it with you all. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make someone happy. And you will have a little heaven right here. So this, as a child, what we have son, makes me a HR professional today. And that is why I chose this profession and I'm here to propagate happiness at least for a small segment that is my own employees and further to you. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's start with you since you have the mic. So anyway, we'll continue on the topic that you just mentioned. So what is the leadership's role in cultivating happiness? Let's start with that topic.
Leadership is a very broad term that we use. There could be no management which doesn't want their employees to be happy or anything. The whole depletion or the dilution happens with the line managers or the people below them who are of different personalities, different leadership styles, and people who are having their own thought process, giving importance, not giving importance, and not really collaborating to working towards the happiness and the well-being of the employees. So firstly, setting a context and bringing them together is the biggest challenge. Leadership is always there for you to anyways back you up.
All right, great. Anybody would like to add something to that?
Yes, sure. Since being an entrepreneur myself, I strongly always believe that no matter how much delegation might happen in an organization, the culture of a company gets influenced significantly by the top people, the leaders. And therefore, if a philosophy of valuing mental and emotional wellness exists at that level, it will trickle down to the entire organization. And therefore, if it's important to them, it will be important to the organization as a whole. So building that understanding that mental and emotional wellness is as important, if not more important than physical health, is something which I strongly believe in, I propagate, and I am more than happy to talk about as well. I can consider myself a leader also because I have a company. So I'm more than happy to talk about my challenges with anxieties, with relationship challenges, with struggles when I was going through my physical illnesses, and that just makes it easier for people to understand that it's not your fault. It can happen to anybody, and that slowly trickles down to not just people in your organization but people around you as well. So that's what I wanted to add.
Okay, great. So now I'm going to continue with this topic. So how do we get employee engagement and satisfaction? through happiness and the culture change. So Srinath, would you like to add on that?
I feel that the entire mindset of happiness, and the moment we talk about work, you talk about and hear about Monday blues and this and that. So the entire narrative needs to change right from top down. And the time to go from the grassroots upwards is not there. We need to change it from the top. And the mindset is a perceptual change as well. It is like a company saying that you are making machines and you are assembling the parts and the machine is going out into the market. When a similar company in the same dimension is saying you are assembling these parts and creating a machine which is saving lives because this is a radiation machine, that perception changes. So the moment the franchising of the mission and vision is through happiness, and what the company actually is doing, leaving its footprint into the market, into the people's lives, I think also creates that. Today you ask a Tata person and say, I work with Tata. Now they don't have any interaction or may not have even met or seen Ratan Tata at a close count. But the aspect of being with Tata as an ethos, there is this franchising of a certain mindset and perception from peon to president. And if we can do that, I think it'll be a great.
Thank you. Great.
This topic is basically just recalls, I recall the old age, this sloka, Sarve Santu what is this? Sarve Bhavantu Sukhna, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Praschantyo, Ma Kaschit, something like somebody can add it. So this is the very common thing, and it's not easy to implement this sloka in toto, in the organizations. It's a really very difficult task. In my context, I can say we have a plant in Tripura. It's a very remote place, and our objective was basically to retain our team, to train them, to motivate them, to make them happy by doing various things. What Madam was telling, so many tools are there to keep them engaged. Previously we have done satisfaction surveys. Basically, the attrition was too much high, like 25%. So we did many things, benchmarking studies, blah 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 blah, increased salaries. Still we did not. Then recently we have started this engagement service. Then how to keep the people happy and engaged? That is the main thing in the organizations. So we have to understand the things from the employee itself, and understand the needs, and then we can go forward.
Okay, so let's go on. So anyway, let's continue and let's go into the resilience and. Okay, here we go. Sorry, backbenchers, you can't hear me. Sorry, excuse me. All right, let's add your thoughts on resilience and well-being. Why is it important at work right now?
As Mr. Mishra actually said, the type of headcount you're going to handle, it's not really possible. It's very glorified statement if HR is saying that yes, we're doing this, that, and it caters to everybody's need. That doesn't happen. But you can definitely have a choice of few set of things which is common. Like cricket was something what we had witnessed. When that happened, that 6 months you have to see, everybody forgot whether he had a personal problem, whether he had a manager problem or whatever it is. They were just rushing to the ground to be participants over there, even if they were not playing to encourage people and all. Additionally, personal, I would say it's more from the family pressure too. It's a very fancy term to say it's workload, always that they are disengaged and high pressure. It could be many other things, the children sitting alone at home, they're motivated, etc. So when we designed our engagement calendar, we divided it into 4 segments. That was sports, cultural, family, and society. Society anyways was part of the CSR club, but when it came to family, everybody calls the kids, have a gala, fancy dress competition, etc. But nobody thought of senior citizens. This was something very, very different we did. People coming from Hyderabad, and if you all know the Telugu speaker, Mr. Gargapati, a very renowned speaker, and he speaks so well. When that happened, there were many old parents, and it was houseful. And many parents walked up to us to only say that last my son drove me to the hospital, and this is the first time he brings me something to enjoy. And thank you for organizing this.
Very sweet, thank you. So now let's talk about AI. how that could be incorporated to help HR improve in a way to manage their.
I'll be honest, I'm yet to explore, but HR is not replaceable because of the type of emotional connect and the human touch you would require. So let's not even debate about it or start the topic. It could be a helping hand, but never replaceable.
So okay, so your jobs are safe still.
Yeah.
That's good. So whoever is from HR, you have 5 years to improve your skills. If not, AI will come and take your job. I'm sure of it. It's going to happen. So 5 years grace period. Go learn some new thing. All right. Anybody else want to add?
Yeah, regarding AI, I don't know how it's, but recently we have done we started this mentoring concept. Everybody, I think most of the people, our colleagues must be knowing. Mentoring concept, recently we have used we have engaged one agency, reputed agency, and then we have developed an app, Menti Opti, this app. This recently last week only we have launched. So that mentor and mentees are connected through this app. So this is the technological connect between the how to create happiness with the AI or technological advancement. So such things can be developed and we can measure the happiness score also through that app. So and regular interaction like mentor-mentee meeting, we as a HR we observe this. I am also a mentor of some people. So I can see the development of our protege or mentee. So these things can be developed to increase the happiness in the organization. Thank you.
I think rather than AI, I would say technology is a great thing. Through COVID and after COVID as well, I continue to be on a retainer counseling and mentoring with certain corporates where I give once a week online. And it saves time traveling and so much, because in the 4 hours that I give, 20 minutes per employee can have a one-to-one with me, and it is completely confidential. They have an offload of anything that they can say in the comfort of their cabins, or a conference room is given to them where they can have these one-on-ones. So things like these, when they are introduced by involving technology, can help a lot. And then we created a format which was distributed where they could gauge their own growth, they could gauge their own coming out. And as ma'am said, Lavanya mentioned about other things, we are an amalgamation of everything, and we bring our home problems to work and take work problems home, and there is compartmentalization which is missing. And it's not about work-life balance, I would call it work-life integration. Because balance is very, very difficult. But when you integrate life into the wholesomeness, then it can achieve far greater results. It's like saying goals. I don't call them goals. I say if people can create milestones, there is more happiness of reaching from one milestone to the other, rather than seeing that goal and saying, oh, I don't think I can reach that. So different things in technology could be introduced. On a lighter note, it is like, whenever one goes to the corporate, it's like, can you do this in a session in an hour or 2 hours? But Microsoft Learning has a full day session. So that mindset needs to change. That, the power of human well-being needs to be at the forefront. Because when employees are happy, you don't need to take care of the clients and worry about them. So, yeah.
But it's very difficult to get companies on board. Because at the end of the day, 99.9% of companies are running on the model of profits. No profit, there's no business.
But profit is over here. Profit is with the people. So how about thinking to work with a completely depleted workforce who is taking the salary every month but is not performing? And in that basis, they themselves go into self-redundancy, of thinking every day how useless they are. But some people enjoy that, where they are fine with taking the salaries but not doing the work. So I think happiness has a great contribution to the bottom line. Well-being and wellness, I realized that while going through my life-death illness, where I thought I was indispensable. Oh, mere bina to kaam chal hi nahi sakta, puri duniya niche aa jayegi. But that is not so. The next day, I'm in ICU and somebody is sitting over there, but I'm yet releasing a film from the ICU. So it is how we see it, and we create that work is worship. But when the worshipper is not there, तो किसको worship करेंगे? So we need to change our perceptions in a big way.
True, yeah. All right, so let's continue now. I am a big believer of creating purpose at work. Because once we have purpose, that's a calling that allows us to be excited to come to work. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Let's start with Amani. He's not got your mic. Let's go for it. You start with you.
Yeah, I have a mic. So passion and purpose is extremely important for anybody to wake up in the day feeling like there's something to do. And in the corporate space, significantly there are basically two types of people. One is an entrepreneur and a founder who's coming to work to fulfill his dream, he has a vision and he wants to achieve that. Then there's another set of people who are coming to work to fulfill their duties and to earn money. Therein lies this gap in what is the passion and purpose that they're getting up in the morning and going to their workplaces. So I have witnessed significantly that with organizations that I have worked with also, whenever there is a clear understanding passed on from the top level to the junior most level, that this is how your work is exactly contributing to this fulfillment of this dream, it creates a significant shift, and people who are working are able to realize that it's not just the fact that they are earning money for themselves and their family, it's also creating a difference in this world, whatever it is, whether it is a pharmaceutical company, an auto manufacturing company, every company is fulfilling some need in this world and they are contributing towards that. So that alignment with that passion helps in creating motivation.
Thank you.
I feel the most important part in the passion and purpose, what I realized working with corporates and companies was dignity of labor. There is always a loggerhead from year and year. So with a wonderful, first of experiment done in a Dubai company was with a 3-day program where first day was the top cadre, the second day was the middle management, and the third day we all went to the factory with the guys who were doing the work at the factory. And there it is that it was made to realize who is buttering the bread. If this guy is not making it, you don't get your money as a marketing head or a CEO, because he is the one making the product which is ultimately going out. So I feel the passion and purpose is not just about knowing your purpose, but knowing the purpose of the other person who is contributing to that company and what it is doing in the market. So, well said.
Yeah, definitely I agree that perception and through some these type of exercises, what Madam is saying, that is really these things work. If you really want to motivate your employees and enhance their motivation level, enhance their efficiency, enhance the productivity. So these tools definitely help. We also engage such type of exercises in our this company, and definitely through some spiritual things can improve.
So now let's talk about this thought, because I'm sure a lot of the companies here would like to find out what is the best way to start this topic if they have not already. How do they start the topic with their employees? Like what kind of initiatives or what kind of things they could do to start this conversation? So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this.
Purpose, a refined definition to this for employees, I would say engagement drivers. So why does he work? Personalities are different. There are a combination of people. You have people coming from different backgrounds. So if you work for money, there's nothing wrong if they are so expressive that they work for money, because that actually motivates them. If you work for identity, the others work for socializing. So a few people want to make a big note of their career, and many also look forward for learning. Many a times people don't even know the purpose of why they're working, because you have an EMI and a house to take care of. But if you actually drill down the reasons and start analyzing and help the person to boost on it, I'm sure they'll be more productive. So HR has to take this initiative.
Okay, I would like to ask this question from Chinna, because it's a continuation of what you were just saying earlier. How do you measure success when you're incorporating these well-being programs as well? Because a lot of this ROI is very important to HR.
So something that was done with two of the companies that I worked with was firstly that when I do a program, it is not something that this is the framework and this is what I do. It is to customize it for that company. So a particular company had a lot of absentees, for example. And so my spiritual part of the work helps in doing that bit and bridging it, that to understand the dynamics of what is the gap in the company and to then cater to that framework. So when you do something whereby the measuring of getting into a tabulation where we could realize what is the mindset of absenteeism, and then getting down and allowing the people to contemplate with the thought process of what he's losing out when he's absent. The moment you put the ball in the other person's court, it is a better thing. Company is losing, he may not be really bothered about because he has too many things on the head. Hospital round hai, ye hai, wo hai. So what he tried to do is that in that I requested the HR to introduce that 2 times in a month, an employee can take half day. They have to tell well in advance to do their chores. So whether it's electricity or hospital or kisi ko doctor ke wahan le jana hai or whatever. And this was introduced as an experiment for 6 months. And trust me, their absenteeism, which say if 80% pe tha, dropped down to almost 22%. Because they did not have a reason not to be there at the office, because they realized they missed sharing the tiffins, they missed XYZ, they missed this girl who they had a crush on but couldn't express. So there were some weird things that came out, or they wanted to connect with their boss a little more, who seemed a little high-ended, and we introduced more open-door policies of, turn around and keep one side of your cabin in a glass and not with a wooden door. So simple things changed when with these couple of companies. So I think that we all think, high and mighty things will change, but I think the simple things in life are missed. And if we begin at grassroots to change those simple things, then we can turn around the larger things in a much greater way.
Thank you. So now I'm going to leave these questions open. So any thoughts you want to add, because we are not going to come to the reference section. We don't have a mic.
I'll just add one small thing to this same question of success. There is a very simple formula that applies over here, and it's the same thing that I've used with all my partner organizations as well. Profits comes from efficiency. Efficiency comes from productivity. Productivity comes from having decent mental and emotional happiness. So eventually it all boils down to how comfortable, how satisfied, and how genuinely happy you feel in doing what you are doing. And therefore, if you want profits, it's not a one or the other option. You have to incorporate that in if you want your organizations to really do well. So I mean, there was a lot of times there's a debate: should I focus on profitability or should I focus on my employees and their well-being? I think one very good thing in this I learned many years ago is HCL had a very simple philosophy wherein they said, if I want my customers to be very, very happy, I'm going to make my employees very, very happy. I think that's what really struck me even well before I began this journey. So that's what I wanted to say.
Just to add, him actually the engagement part, what I was taking, like just practical thing I am sharing here. Like during COVID time, people are very, very demotivated. I mean, confined to their homes and all. So just my boss told me to just start this engagement survey online. Everything was virtual. So just internally I developed a small questionnaire. Like some of the questions, like I have a best friend at work. My superior takes care of me while distributing the job. Like some 20 questions we have prepared and just floated down through Google survey. So like then that was the first step. Then the second, after 1 year, then again we have done. So these kind of engagement surveys which I was talking just previously. So these things help and can measure the mood of the employees. That is called Moodometer. We have also developed in the mentoring app. So these are the things, small things which can just initiate and measure the things and keep our employees happy and engaged.
Yeah. So I believe strongly, human resources, not really human resources, but more human relationships. We have to maintain, I know, but the only challenge is, of course, there's only one HR handling maybe 500 people, 1,000 people, so you need what we call as spies in their champions that come up to you, and help you out while, and hoping that they one day could also come and do that you are. So any questions from the audience before we wrap up this session? Or food, hunger is calling you right now? Any questions out there? Anybody would like to ask from the panels? Okay, so the room is cold. They want some warm, spicy food. Okay, fine. So I think we'll just wrap up here. Okay. So moderator, okay, we are done here. So you want to just say?
Depends on you whether you're done or not. So
I don't want
in case you have some more questions, if you don't
we can do some jumping jacks right now if you want.
There are only two times where there are no questions, that people have understood everything. And
Either
otherwise that they are bored and nothing is to ask.
yes,
They look bored.
either they have understood everything or
they're bored.
we have. I mean,
So we have, leaders as well here. Anybody wants to share anything with the panelists? If
Yes,
you don't want
that is
to
better
ask,
idea.
if you want to share something where few steps that you took were transformative for your organization, your people.
Yes, we
I
can
think
also
that'll be
learn.
great.
We can also learn.
We all can learn from each other. So of course there's an official panel here, but I believe everybody sitting here is like a panel only. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And just introduce yourself as well.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, this is Priya from Indostar Capital Finance Limited, and just sharing a bit of experience over here. As an HR professional, I feel what is important is driving a culture driven by core values of the organization. It's about setting the DNA right. If you're really wanting to drive your people to a happy workplace, to a place where they look forward to coming back every day, they stay engaged, they stay productive. It's very important that we build the right culture for them. And there have to be certain elements which needs to be fixed at the ground level. You don't need to reinvent the wheel or something or do something huge. There's small bit of things wherein they feel that they are heard, they are taken care of, they see a career with the organization and they have the opportunity to grow with the organization. They are the true stakeholders. If they are valued as an individual, that's where they feel valued and feel happy to come back to work. And it's the culture which defines these things. Thanks.
Let's hear for her. I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, you want to say something, Dr. Rashmi?
Just to add with, it was a good panel discussion. What I feel is one need to keep changing also. Like a pattern becomes mundane. So and the generation now wants something new. So those policies or programs which you have been running for engagement, if you just change a bit, that brings freshness and they are more engaged too. That was one thing, everything has been covered. Thank you so much.
Well said,
Thank you, sir.
Exactly, like even twisting the words, like maybe what was called ABC, now you change it to CDP and go on. I mean, something new is going to happen now.
There was one more thing during my film years I understood was that more important than learning direction was human management. How to keep the spot boy to the superstar happy on that set when there is chaos, when there is like mayhem, and yet getting them to do what you want to do at the end of the day. So I think within the thing, if the value and helping the spot boy to understand that unless he gives that fresh chai in every 2-hour, 3-hour interval, that is of great importance because that's keeping us fresh and alert behind as the direction department, production department, the superstar and everyone. So if we, as she rightly said, if we help them not just to value them, but to help them understand their own value and space. It's like saying if everybody wants to become a manager, then who will give that tea and coffee in the morning to keep us fresh? So everyone needs to feel and to be made to understand their value to the company, and that human management part can be really taken up by the HR at a regular level through programs. We have seen great results in that when that has happened. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So my take is very simple. So if we said human resources or human relations, if we can also add happiness resources. And finally I feel that at the end of the day, we are working with humans. And if we start treating them like humans and not Superman or Superwomen, I think life will be good at work. That's my take. If you treat humans as humans, I think there'll be happiness around. It's the challenge when we start treating them as if they are from different planet. I think that's where so as you rightly said, if you keep things simple, I think simplicity will take care of everything. It's when we when we start using a lot of jargons and try and make it complicated because we want to show to the world that, you know what, I know a lot. I think that is where the challenges come. So thank you so much, Dr. Suresh, for a wonderful moderation. Let's hear for Dr. Suresh, Happiness Devnani, Aman, Roshni, Lavanya, and Mr. Sharad. Yeah, can we have a... Thank God it fell after the session was over.
He's extra happy today.